Hello everyone. You're listening, hopefully in the future, to a premium recorded session of Dark Heresy. My name is Jack, I'm the DM. I'm here with three lovely chaps. We have Brother Henry.
Steady on.
Brother Henry, very
Ew!
very much with us.
And
We have
one of the players.
we have Brother Alan.
Hello. You can't just call me Alan.
I know, but this is
No.
the
That's just what they'll be expecting.
we've got to name you by title, and then we have non-brother AJ,
Yeah. Howdy.
who, unless I am mistaken, is unrelated to any of us.
Yeah, nah. Does.
Can't quite tell in these times. So welcome to our recording of Dark Heresy. What we'll do is treat you to a brief recap of our adventures so far, and then we'll introduce some of the characters that each of these fine gents playing, and then we will get into things. So, to recap the story a little, the party, comprising of three people, all of them slightly geriatric, all of them long experienced in plying the void lanes of space and the Calixus sector, brought together to serve the Inquisition in their own way, each of them possessing unique skills and talents that they've been able to bring to the service of the Inquisition. United first for a mission to track down various disappearances in the core planet of Scintilla in Hive Cybellus. They investigated various leads to find a bit of a conspiracy going on, helmed by the arch heretic Zacromiel, who had been concealing a chaotic organization in his Adeptus Arbitrator's palace, and working out from under the very nose of the Inquisition on the same planet. He had been able to spin a web of lies and kidnappings to find fresh victims for his own nefarious ends. Tracked down by the party, he was battled within his secret lair, and the party managed to capture him alive and escort him to the Inquisition for questioning. Having undertaken such a momentous success in their first mission, the next mission that came the Acolytes' way was to rendezvous with a very influential Imperial noble off-world, some distance away on the depths of the sector. In the Malfian subsector, they travelled to the planet of Vaxanide, a somewhat feudal/feral world, much mined and a centre for exporting minerals and chemicals, delving deep at the request of Lord Vaxanide himself into the depths of the acid jungles to investigate an archaeological ruin. Him and a team, he had sent a team down to the planet to unearth what secrets it had long held, and after his expedition had run into trouble, the party united with a man of Imperial faith, a exorcist named Thomas Locane, and unfortunately the exorcist fell victim to some of the perils of the jungle, but taking up his mantle and his censer, they delved deep into the ruin to undertake purification, and exploring deep within, they found a long-abandoned Imperial weapon, the Mace of Judgment, and retrieving it from its icy coffin, they then used it to do battle with a great astral spectre, which had been bound within the ruins, and the mace had its own calling to vanquish this demon, which was then used by Brother Henry's character to slay that demon. And then leaving the planet there, they have just recently exited the planet and made a rendezvous again with Vaxanide's ship to recount how the mission had gone, and having not best pleased Lord Vaxanide on their final meeting, Vaxanide seemed to not incorrectly suspect that they had hid the true discovery of what the ruin held from him, and promised some moderate vengeance in the future. So it was a little bit of an acrimonious parting, but the party has now made their way back onto their transit ship, the Solex Rhine, having just completed a little bit of Xeno slaying in one of the enginariums. That is pretty much where we are at. So with the plots vaguely recapped for you, maybe we should just do a rundown of each person's character. So let's start with Henry's character.
Okay, first of all, Jack makes us sound so much better than we are. We are the most dangerous, unhinged characters that could be doing this sort of job. No. In the finding of the what's his name? The Arbitrator leader, Zachroniel. In finding him, Alan and AJ managed to set fire to a whole hab block and murder a load of people.
I mean, it was only a slight gravity malfunction. It was only
Still happened.
No. I think we both had a role to play.
No,
I
was on fire because you stood atop a burning corpse.
Alan,
I was away for this 1 week. I said I gave them the instructions: do not do anything silly and endangering.
But no, and we didn't. There was just a small accident.
Octus, where several people died, and there was a mass fire.
Yes.
Octus wanted to see if there were people at the bottom of the staircase, and using premonition, fucked it up.
Look, I just tried to see if I could sense, any sort of any people further down the corridor. It's a bit creepy, we're in danger. So I'll have a little bit of a look with my mind powers.
Managed to turn off gravity.
No, I did not turn it off. It just reversed.
Yeah, it reversed. You reversed gravity.
Yes.
For a 200 meter or something radius.
It was a small accident.
Half a hab block had various bloody ends when gravity corrected itself, but it's fine.
And then you shot someone with a las pistol, set them on fire with a crit, and then tried to jump over their corpse as they were blocking the only exit in the hallway, set yourself on fire, and then just sort of ran about a bit on fire.
Yeah, I was on fire. What was I meant to do?
Not be on fire to start with.
Was trying not to be on fire the best I could. But fire's really hard to put out, it turns out.
Yes, but the best way of not being on fire is not jumping over fire-ess things.
We were
no
trapped,
reason.
and lots of people were angry at us. We had to get out.
So that's our standard mode of operation. That's how we get shit done. Well, we normally get shit done by punching it repeatedly. Yeah, very big arms. There's a lot of not very disciplined play that goes on, but that's how we work. We get results. That's the important thing. So my character, we do. You heard the brilliant report we got.
Or that chap who was smuggling a bunch of illegal shit, and we just went, "Damn it, Saturday," and walks away.
Yeah, we've let criminals go. Sure, we're not perfect.
All in search of big fish.
But that one holy man, you took a liking to his censor, not a euphemism, and you were doing your best to kill him at any opportunity.
Okay, but no, clean slate. They don't know about any of that, right? So my character is Gaius Luge, spelt the Caesar way, and I'm a void-born geriatric. I'm a very old man. I'm fairly tall, but I'm a little bit stooped. I wear many layers of robes, to the point where when we met with Vaxanide, Lord Vaxanide, he was sort of inquiring about this holy mace that we found, and I managed to sequester it amongst my robes while he tried to scrutinize my body with his eyes.
An entire ancient relic within your robes.
Yeah, and that's not a euphemism.
Yes, Gaius Luge specialises himself on having many ancient relics on his person. The finger bone of St. Horowitz, also a favourite acquisition.
And I'm the dude that's full of stuff. I've got loads of stuff on me. I've got grenades, I've got Molotovs, I've got a flamethrower. I'm slightly religiously persuaded because I am a cleric. This has led us
pretty bloody religiously persuaded if you're a cleric, I'm going to be honest.
I'm a redemptionist cleric, so I'm pretty darn hot on the old trigger, let's say.
Let's not forget your main attribute, though, Henry. Your main skill, the thing you bring to the table.
My main skill is my fellowship. People are meant to love me, and sometimes it works, I also scaled up my singing ability because
That's what I was going for, the singing in particular.
the singing is my go-to card if we're trying to make friends with people, or bribery because I'm fantastically rich because I'm from the ecclesiarchy. I have lots of weird random skills because it's just fun and that's how the characters level up. The mace that I'm wielding is this relic we plumbed from the depths called the Mace of Judgment. It once belonged to a female arbitrator who came to become almost a despot because she would just go around smashing people in. And eventually she was sort of declared a sort of heretic and eventually taken down by her own team. Now, this is her mace, and part of using the mace is that it convinced the wielder that they are 100% right, and their conviction levels are just unshakable. So this is quite dangerous in the hands of myself, because I'm quite a nutty cleric, but we might find that out through play. So that's me.
Yeah.
Gaius Luge.
Would you like to go next, or?
Sure.
No, you can go next.
I'm also a voidborn geriatric.
Yeah.
Although what makes me interesting is rather than being tall, I'm a small gremlin person. Who also just happens to be incredibly mutated. So that the entirety of my skin is just a mess of scars and horrific terribleness. So people tend to hate me on sight. On top of that, to try and blend in a bit, my character once saw fucking Octus Frag, that's his name. Octus once saw a chap wear a wig and thought, that's amazing, I need one of them. Because obviously he just doesn't have any hair. So he went out and bought it at the best wig he could, with the best of intentions, but he didn't have much money. So it's basically someone else's scalp that is glued to his head.
I mean, you say it wasn't much money, it was like 300 thrones.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to fucking argue against that not much money point as well. You were in the upper bits of a hive.
Yeah, it was
buying
bought
the
from one of the premier
best-
noble establishment wig shops.
Yeah.
Jealous.
He went to the right place. He just didn't have enough crowns. As is, he's got a very fancy wig. A wig of sorts. He also, honestly speaking, Octus Frag as a character began life with me being in some kind of stupor from painkillers, and I've been trying to live up to that ever since, and it's not been going well. But the main thing that's kind of carried on since then is A, he likes to hide in small containers when he gets scared, and B is that he just wants to try and help people, which has been great. So he went down the sort of psychic path of healing. That would be nice because he's a psyker, he can heal people, and it's gone a little bit skew-if in that it turns out he can now pick up and throw entire mech suits. He's now stronger than most power lifters.
Yes, the marvel that is the hammer hand power has rendered him able to lift up to 8 tons at a throw.
Yeah. He also has force choke, just because it's there, it's in the same power tree. Force lightning as well. They have serious names, but so on and so forth. Basically, one of the defining features of our sessions is Jack devises a puzzle, which is then rather tragically ruined by me having some kind of bizarre psychic power, because at this stage it's a little bit silly.
Yes, it's very moderately the Octus Frag show, featuring Acolytes. At least at times.
Octus Frag and friends.
But yes, he's quite a character, I would say.
I believe that's it for now on Octus, so would you like to
Alright, we'll go to
kill yours?
Yeah, so my character is Quarl, who is the least geriatric at the age of 25.
Shit,
yeah, I thought you were way older than that.
He's like our designated carer from the.
I am. I drive them between planets.
You do actually. You do.
You carried me at one point.
I mean, Carl is the dedicated spaceship pilot.
Yeah. Also voidborn, so able to fly ships. But I'm an arbitrator, so anytime I see injustice, I normally partake as well, because I'm not a very good arbitrator, it turns out. The main thing that if Quarl doesn't really talk to things, he mainly just shoots things, but he's really, really unfortunately bad at shooting anything. He must have thrown all of his weapons in the mud and then jumped on them repeatedly, because all of them jam, no matter what kind of weapon it is, whether it's a shotgun or a pistol, or even something that probably shouldn't jam, like a double barrel, or I'm sure I could get a knife to jam as well.
You pick it up and
Find a
it
way.
rusts to flakes in your hands.
Yeah, in my hand. Essentially, Quarl is very combat focused and sort of shoot first, ask questions later. And
You're showing
hang on,
very
you
keen
have your-
senses.
I do have very keen senses. I have immensely keen senses. I have heightened sense of sight with my special eyes, and a heightened sense of hearing with my special ears. And I also have total recall, which allows me to bring up obscure facts at any point. If I've learnt anything, I can just regurgitate it from my brain if I pass an intelligence check. So hopefully banging out the random facts at some point.
Do not forget your special card, though.
My special... Oh! Yes,
Yeah.
my Arbitrator ID. Yes. Anytime I get into any sort of jam, I do attempt to defuse the situation before resorting to violence by showing them my Arbitrator ID and stating, I am an Arbitrator. However, criminals don't really tend to like this very much, and in fact, they then attempt to kill me.
Arbitrator
Which then
and
causes-
or cogitator repairman.
Yes, yeah.
That is plan B.
And yeah, well, I've got some tech use, so I have repurposed a Ministorum choir skull to be a floating
Yes,
vid cam.
the erstwhile fourth member of the party is a choir skull obtained from a cathedral on Scintilla after encountering a priest of the ecclesiarchy who had somewhat suspect intentions. They were gifted a skull that would follow them and broadcast hymns of Imperial faith constantly and frequently. However, it has since been repurposed to become a combination surveillance device, recorder, general companion, and
Affectionately called Skully.
yes.
Yeah.
Also, I'd forgotten that in the description of my character, I forgot that to go with the wig, I also have a pair of trousers wrapped in tinfoil, and also a deck of sexy rattling playing cards.
Yeah.
Those rattlings can find anything.
Yeah, you bought the rattling playing cards. Yeah, no. Yeah.
I mean,
I also
you
bought you
laugh now,
fancy
they will
goggles.
become a plot-solving device later.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. Goody.
Alright, so that's pretty much a rundown of the party.
Also, hang on. Just looking at this campaign map we have in front of us, Jack.
Yes.
We have this wonderful little first of all, it's a little red arrow by Vaxanide. That's nice. Lets us know where we are.
Yep.
We have a little guide on the side, and on the side there is the place known as Pleasure World. And our missions so far have not taken place on Pleasure World, which I feel is,
To
There's
be
no
perfectly
witness,
honest, Alan, as 4 straight men, I'm not sure we want to roleplay a pleasure world.
that is
Yeah,
true.
you went to my
Destiny
magical
about that.
realm. I mean, you're certainly welcome to make the case to your inquisitorial handlers.
No.
To be fair, it would be basically a week or two of you two going around having it off as Octus Frag gets sort of frowned at by everyone on the planet.
If you've got enough coin, Alan, anything can move.
I don't think Octus has enough coin. I do not.
You
Sell-
have the
sell
most
your
coin.
hair.
Yeah, I spent my money on tinfoil wrapped trousers, sexually rattling playing cards, and buying you night vision goggles.
Yeah, but those night vision goggles were very helpful until the thing wrapped around my face and we got me set on fire. So that was very...
So that was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Or
been a
the
couple
last
of weeks here since we last played, and it might take us a little bit to warm up again. So yeah, if with that characters run down, we'll go ahead and just pick up the threads of where we last left off. So, having left Lord Vaxanide on board his ship, the Magnanimity's Reward, you rendezvoused with your Imperial transit relay ship, the Solex Rhine, and after some misadventures on the outward journey from Scintilla to Vaxanide, you were immediately contacted by the ship Seneschal, who had a little work for you to keep you out of trouble. He asked that you went into one of the engineering bays and took care of a little Xenos problem. The party making time first to procure some items from some local rattling traders and make erstwhile friends with an idealistic young youth named Iden. Then proceeded to the Enginarium, where they were beset by a swarm of at least a dozen plus Gloomhaunts, Xenos life form about 8 feet long and 5 feet wide, equipped with vast leathery wings and with a habit of sucking off the faces of those they target. In a large
Terrifying.
battle fending off this horde, the party decided that an expedient way to remove the infestation would be by evacuating the Enginarium of oxygen and venting them into the void. However, with a little bit of not quite familiarity with the various tech panels in the Enginarium, it came to a situation where Octus Frag had to throw his compatriots out of the Enginarium before the doors slammed shut, and using his superhuman powers of psychic endurance, endured 3 to 4 minutes of void, whilst the other party members desperately searched for one of the ratings to come and re-enable the atmosphere generator. However, the door was opened and Octus was found a little pale on one, but very much still alive. The Xenos vanquished, vented to the depths of space. And Seneschal was very happy and paid the party a decent sum, some 600 plus thrones, which gratefully received. However, this victory did not come at a cost, since the young idealistic youth Iden unfortunately perished in the battle, one of the Xenos managing to grip around his face, and the skull integrity of the young boy was not maintained.
See, Iden was the fourth player in our campaign, but as his character died, we felt it was, important that he too should die with him.
We killed him off in real life.
Yeah, we're very strict with this kind of thing, and honestly, I think it adds more to our role playing as well. In that, we all feel the loss of Iden.
It's a high stakes game. I mean, we'll all remember Barry forever, but
oh yeah, Barry. Oh god, he went the first session. Poor lad.
Yeah, it's a shame how it worked out. But yeah, sort of picking up the threads of where we left off, it's a couple of days before the Solex Rhine leaves, and the three of you are now encountered with an amount of downtime as the ship prepares its schedule for departure from Vaxanide and makes preparations to enter the warp and travel back to Scintilla. So, is there anything the three of you would like to undertake? The journey back to Scintilla will probably take about 8 days. And with the lead-in time, it's going to be about 2 weeks before you make orbit back around the planet. Is there anything you wish to undertake in this sort of downtime?
I can think of one thing which I know that... No, we're not going for that? Okay, well, Gaius, I believe you wanted to go speak to some ratlings.
I do. I want to see the short man about some ammunition.
Okay, so...
Because last time we met them, I spent all of my money buying a bolt pistol, because one has to. One has to. But I did not have any money for ammunition, so I just bought a pistol, knowing that we would kill off a whole horde of creatures, which, by the way, I think we killed about 15 of them, and there was maybe 10 to 12 more. We managed to convince the guy paying us that we killed 60.
Because, look, okay, now
Even
we may
though the
work in
body parts
position,
are
but
still there.
that does not mean that we're nice people, it turns out.
Well, they did explode. So
They did, yeah.
how could you tell how many there?
Bit confusing for numbers. Alright, so yeah, easy enough. Having had your in with the rattling traders, the sort of charming trader and the more elderly one, you once again re-enter one of the cafeteriums where you had picked up the knowledge of them and picked up the young idealistic, now deceased Iden. And sort of speaking with a few lowly ratings, you re-establish the next time that they will be available to trade in the bulkhead room. And making your way over to the location, you wait for the appointed time that they will be present for trades. And
now, just chatting to my fellow players here, do we think we can get any kind of sort of intimidation value going if they walk in?
How? Intimidation, how?
Well, I'm not saying intimidation, but just to make them question themselves, make them a bit uneasy. Throw them off their, salesman game.
Hmm.
It only okay. To be fair, it does involve going towards the warp, which is maybe not a good idea.
Oh, then no.
Sorry, did you just assume that I could somehow walk on the ceiling without the aid of the warp?
No, I was thinking, how are we going to intimidate these people? To be honest, I completely blanked on the walking on the ceiling bit and spooking the shit out of them by just, doing that totally normal thing of that totally normal suggestion of walking on the ceiling. Yeah. No, I don't think we should try and spook the people who have all 100%. Of the guns on the ship and all of the things we need.
Also, who sees like a crazy like demon exorcist style performance and then goes, "I want to give you a gun"?
No, it wouldn't be. I want to give you a gun. It's I'm not only going to sell you a gun. I'll give you a tenner off your gun because you're walking on the ceiling.
That's what I'm going for here.
It's like
I'm so ready to be murdered.
It's like that scene in The Exorcist where she crawls backwards down the stairs, like on her back. And
and if you remember, the next scene, they were just chucking money at her. Yeah. Because that's what happens when that occurs.
Okay, well, that's getting dangerous territory, considering that's the clergy and a young girl. So let's move swiftly on.
Okay. So
now it's a dangerous territory.
Waiting for the appointed hour, you watch as the two erstwhile rattling traders re-emerge from the door on the far side of the room and drag their higher chairs into place against the desk. You hear the scraping of metallic legs on metallic floor as they get themselves ready for business. Sort of, you watch the younger one sort of brushing his hair back you watch as he slicks his hair back, ready for business, and the older rattling, decked in a set of khaki-ish fatigues, fumbles in various pockets and pulls out a pair of brass-looking spectacles and leans forward, scrutinizing you. Oh yes, you've returned. What can you get you this time?
As a side note, I fucking love this old rattling guy. He's fucking awesome.
He's been in business.
The last time we were here, he gave us a discount. He went off to find the shiny trousers for Alan. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he sold the shiny trousers like 30 krones or something. It's great.
The shiny trousers.
Look, they protect me from lasers. You covered this.
What can we do to part you from your valuable friends?
Yes, it seems that I've come back for the ammunition, which I once told you I didn't need.
Oh, I see. Well, we're always grateful to take your throne. So, how much ammunition were you looking for this time? Or rather, the first time?
Well, I think we agreed on a price of about 13 thrones a bullet.
Yes, okay, that sounds about right. And how many shells will you be looking for?
All of them.
All
the bullets.
If we're talking about ship-wise, there are various emplacement guns on the surface side. Probably looking at around at least 40,000 rounds of ammunition. I'm not quite sure we can escort all of that to you. If you could give me a more sensible number, preferably an integer.
Let me see. Fumbling about in my little velvet coin purse, of which I have many, because of course I do.
We're all very keen to be of assistance to you, and don't get me wrong, we like taking people's money, but respectfully, I don't think you could afford 200,000 gilt.
20 rounds, my good man.
20 rounds, okay. That is indeed a more sensible number.
I need all those 20 rounds.
I'm currently debating giving you money so you can buy more bolt ammunition stuff.
I don't need more, Alan.
Well,
I don't need more.
On the one hand, I'm kind of, stoked for us to have a bolt gun somewhere in the party. But I'm just a little bit scared of, having a bolt gun somewhere in the party, because we are prone to mishaps.
Okay.
And the mishap with a bolt gun is going to be pretty fucking big. Like, you can't casually clip someone with a bolt gun.
Also, the danger of the bolt gun there is that should I die, or perhaps hold the party hostage, as I once did, with it threatening to explode myself because I'm full of grenades and flammable liquids.
That was a separate issue.
My ammunition will also detonate. So we're approaching.
Oh God!
I become a small sun when I.
Yeah, maybe
I think
not.
just 20 is fine. Just 20.
I'm not giving you any money for that. Good God, no.
Are we just gonna stay 20 meters away from Gaius at all times?
Because if he detonates, it's 20 bolt gun rounds going off. I don't think he survive one.
You
I
watch
don't
the
think
old
he'd just
rattling.
spontaneously detonate, though. He'd probably give us some warning.
Oh, is it a bolt pistol or bolt gun?
Bolt pistol.
Can you name it Big Iron for me?
No.
Big iron, big iron.
Big iron on his hip. We'll get copyrighted.
If it's a bolt gun on it.
No.
Okay. You watch as the old rattling sort of pulls a data slate out of his fatigues and begins noting down the quantity of water. Right, here's 20 bolt shells and anything else for the other two of you?
Not sure. So
We
I
are
think we
flush
need
with
a-
cash. I don't think we need anything. Like maybe some exotic drugs.
Well, no, I don't. I don't think it helps.
I've been taking
that music kicked in like crazy.
I've been taking non-exotic drugs. I've been taking stim quite regularly.
That's like a sanctioned drug, though. That's all fine.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll wander up to the rattlings and wave my hand cannon in front of them.
Jesus, man.
I'll point it up and sort of wiggle my wrist and sort of point at it.
You produce the
And
hand
tell
cannon. The bore of the gun is like half the size of their head, and you sort
I'll
of set
tell
it down
them-
on the desk with like a. Doom.
I need another one of these, and it needs a fire selector, and I also need some man-stopper bullets.
Jesus.
Right,
Boy.
well, respectfully, there's a couple of things there. Right, okay, we can have a look and see what we can procure for you. So you're looking for some kind of hand cannon. Do you have specific models? We can look to see if we got various Navy supply. We could try and look for a HECU 7. Give me like some kind of idea of what kind of grade you're looking for.
Navy would be ideal, but anything that you can find.
All right, well, no guarantees on that, but we can have a look.
Righto.
And yeah, man-stopper bullets. I think we've seen some of those kicking around, but we can have a look. Yeah, they are not super common, but if we can procure bulk shells, I'm sure we can find some of those for you. How many of those would you be looking for?
About 30.
30. All right. Just total that up for you. Okay, and a fire selector as well.
Yeah.
All right, that'll be extra amount there. All right, so if we say 260 thrones for the bolt shells, and then man stopper and a hand cannon and a fire selector, if we can find those, that would be an extra 200 thrones.
Let's say 245 for the lot, and you've got a deal.
I'll say go ahead and make a barter test at minus 30.
Alright,
That is a big ask.
I've only got a fucking roll of 14. Alright.
Yeah,
Maybe you roll a 1.
yeah, maybe the dice will have pissy.
Alright. My roll button isn't working on my skills still. So
Well,
I'm not just
roll a 1.
Just roll
roll a D100 and try and get a 1. Alright,
Yep.
cool. Fucking bang on! Oh, no. Okay.
No.
Whoops.
Execute order 66.
Righto.
Yeah, you make an impassioned plea for a discount towards the rattlings, and
I do.
The younger one seems to be entertaining you for a moment, and then he just says, "Nah, mate, I ain't born yesterday. With respect for a gentleman like yourself who brings thrones to an above-board transaction, we could move a little on the price, but no, that is asking a little bit too much, sir. Respectfully, we could take, with the quantity of the order, with the shells and the gun, potentially, we could take perhaps 10 thrones off the amount, but what you're asking is a little bit too much.
Sure, but what was the total number of thrones there?
So if we total that up, that would be a total of, let's say, around 450 for both those items.
And how many thrones you got on you?
I've got 245.
See, now, I could give you the thrones,
You could.
but I'm kind of interested to see what will happen if I ask them to find something that will help with psychic powers.
Righto. Well then, in that case, guys, I'll take a pack of low sticks and a couple doses of stim.
Oh, right. Didn't realise we had a tweaker on our hands. Yeah, alright, it's a hard life. Stim, not super common on the void ships, but we can have a look. I should just specify that the 450 that includes the bolts shells. So if Henry wants to put some gold towards that.
I think AJ can spot me.
Oh, wait, sorry, it's 450 for the gun and the bolts.
Yes, that's the cumulative total so far. Sorry if I didn't make that clear.
Oh,
Yeah, so-
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry. I
thought
went
it was just
over,
for his gun.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no, that's
I'll pay my
the
260.
cumulative
Oh,
total
okay.
so far.
Well, if you pay your 260, I can pay my 245, and then we're well over. I can probably get my stim and my
Don't
stick.
say that.
It's a good day for me.
Drugs and consumables. Stim is 20 per dose, average rarity.
Just
not a
chuck us
problem
one
for
dose
finding
then.
that. All right. So he goes.
I'll just take one dose of stim. It's just fairly helpful for when giant monsters fall out of boxes and try and eat my face.
Indeed. Right. So he goes off to the one of the various supply channels he has to pilfer from, and goes to procure these items for you. So let's just check.
Wait, before he runs off to procure.
Oh yeah.
Before he runs off to procure things, I do have a question for him.
Oh yes, you funny looking one. You're looking at me funny. You got a question?
Get wrecked.
I mean, respectfully, that is a very intense stare. I can tell
Do
there's some
you
burning
have-
question on your lips.
Do you have anything which could be used to help with the use of psychic powers, or anything to help with communion with the wall?
I.
I'm gonna stand nervously staring at you now.
He sort of looks at the old ratling and he's sort of just shaking his head. I can't say that is a very frequent request for our services. I could certainly see if we've got any psychoactive substances which make communion with the warp easier, just lying around in a box somewhere. Of course, no guarantee. Yeah, why not? We can try the lucky dip.
Thank you.
All right, pleasure. I'll be back in a few minutes, gentlemen. Try not to blow yourself up.
All right.
Now, if we get some kind of psychoactive substance, this does mean we can try and gas people we don't like with something that gives.
Okay, that sounds like a terrible idea. Sounds really, really terrible.
Okay.
It's like, hey, I don't like you much. His ultimate power.
No,
See how you
not
like
permanent.
that?
Look, you just have so somebody's trying to have an official announcement or whatever, and they're trying to talk normally to their friends. All of a sudden, bam! They're seeing demons everywhere.
Why not just drug them? Why give them warp powers?
I'm saying it's an option
Oh,
in
look,
case he hasn't got a magic warp guidance stick.
He's summoned a bloodthirster, and that's not gone down well with the audience.
Well, it probably wouldn't. If we don't want somebody to go, if we don't like someone who's addressed, turn the audience again.
Okay, also,
someone's a
how are we
bloodthirster.
going to just slip them some psycho magic nonsense?
I can go turn invisible.
Okay, but you still have to transport it to them. Would you be a floating vial?
If it needs to be injected, I do have an injector which I use for my stim.
but
As long
hang
as they
on.
don't mind getting 40k aids.
Number one, don't share
Oh,
needles
that's
because you don't know what they've got. Number two, how are you going to sneak up to someone giving a speech to inject them with a needle?
No, look, you inject them before. These things won't kick in. Well, I don't know. They may kick in immediately. If so,
just
well,
kill
it's going
them
to be
like our
complicated.
usual style beforehand.
I think you'll find hepatitis C is one of the most effective weapons of the Inquisition's armor.
Oh dear.
See,
This is why I'm on the team. So I have to wrangle back these crazy ideas to
Wait,
something
no,
that's just
no,
not
no.
a good idea.
Look, it's possible. It's doable. I'm not saying something we do every time. It's just something we have in our arsenal, just in case.
This is akin to saying, why don't we just give them AJ's shotgun because it always jams?
It does though.
Yes, it might not though, and then you've just given someone a shotgun.
Yeah, but in this case, the outcome isn't it jams. It's they rip apart reality and themselves. In which case, we're set.
No, because you don't do that when you get psychic powers. You use them to aid your ambitions.
Well, that's because look. Let's be fair. Octus Frag should have died long ago, but
What? All right, okay.
Octus
Is the
is
midget
sick of
man
doing his
back?
work. He's just going to start phoning it in from now. No, just make them blow themselves up. It's fine. Don't need to lift things.
Yeah, but that would you turning invisible, you having the stim shot ready. All of this would require planning, And that is something that we are really, really bad at.
We've planned at least once before.
We did plan at least once before, and I don't remember it going well because none of it's ever gone well, if I'm perfectly honest.
There was that time when we went into that man's room and said we were the IT support team.
Yeah, no, that plan was shit because he immediately saw through my guise of IT repairman.
Okay, no.
Space.
It got us in the door. That's the main thing.
We claimed to be cogitator assessors to the head of the arbitrators.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Have the rattlings found my gun?
Yeah, at this point, the rattling sort of you hear scuffling from behind the table, and he hoists himself back onto the chair and like struggling to lift this horribly huge hand cannon. It's like slams onto the table. Oh god, that's heavy. Yeah, there you go. That's gunmetal steady model. That one, that should do you right. Can only find a handful of these man stopper bullets, but we got some regular ammunition in the back, and he puts a hand on the table and drops.
I'll just take the handful.
4 to 5. We'll say 5 man stopper bullets.
Yeah, no, I'll take it.
Handful of regular ammunition. Sort of looks at you, Gaius, and puts like one of those metal military issue ammunition boxes. Sort of struggles to lift that onto the surface of the table, and you see it's like a pretty nice looking metal ammunition crate filled with bolt shells. There you go, help yourself to any of those. And for your rotund friend here, we managed to find this, and he pulls out looks to be like a folded over parcel of wax paper with some sort of waxy substance in it. Yeah, this is a special batch they cook up on the ship. Wouldn't really recommend it trying it myself, but maybe you'll be able to find it useful. They say if you sniff a good dose of this, it'll produce some psychic phenomena in people who aren't attuned to the warp. You take a dose of it and drives you a bit mad, but if you know what you're doing, apparently you can use the power to sort of tune into the warp and try it that way. It sounds like the sort of stuff I'd rather be dead in a ditch than actually try, but sounds vaguely what you like, so maybe you'd be interested.
How much?
For this portion here, he only makes it in small batches. It's very artisanal, you see. That'd be about 400 gelt.
That's something I can't do, I'm afraid.
Well, I'd say it'd be your loss, but frankly, probably best avoided.
Well, yeah, probably best.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
All right, well, shame not to get thrones for that, but I'll save it for the next discerning customer.
Right. I'll walk up to the table and pick up the hand cannon. Can I inspect it for the fire selector?
Oh yes. Yeah. He's sort of the chap fumbles in his pocket, and oh yeah, the fire selector. Where to put it? Pulls it out from some pocket behind him. There you go.
His prison pocket.
Hey,
Jesus' back pocket.
don't give me that look. Sometimes it's hard to smuggle things than others, you know.
Right. I'll give Henry half the total. I'll give Gaius half the total.
Wait, why?
Well, we're paying together. This is.
But my bit is more than yours, I think. So if you give me half, you're going to lose out.
Well, if they throw in the low sticks and the dose of stim, then we should be about even.
For you as well.
Righto. Then we'll probably be about even. I am getting another gun, so I'm quite happy.
Another gun? Maybe this one won't jam.
Another gun. Okay. By the way, in the final moments of the face-hugging beasts descending from the cargo bay, the engine bay ceiling, which were quite likely to kill us, and had also killed a young man that was escorting us. Nobody's fault of our own.
Look, you and your escort aside.
Yeah, my escort aside. AJ went like full fucking Matrix mode, flipped out his like trench coat, brought out the hand cannon, and then just gunned down like 4 beasts, just like clean plumb shots, plumb out the air, while the rest of us were fumbling like Jerichos.
I mean,
Oh, sorry. Were we all fumbling? Were we? I guess so. I'm terribly sorry. I don't remember doing anything in that encounter.
there were long periods where things were attached to your face. So
Yeah, so
That's true. That is true.
Alan was being suffocated. I was being suffocated. I'm an old man. Not good moments for me. Another beast, all the beasts swarming in. AJ just swoops around with his pistol. This is a man that always classically jams his gun. So having a second pistol might be the way to go.
I was thinking that.
a backup sidearm.
Let me. Yeah. Well, bonus to you. Whilst we've been playing, I've been speccing to dual wield pistols. So
Oh.
I think you told us that last time.
yeah. So hopefully having 2 chances to hit things and have twice as many things jam at once, maybe the way forward.
Yeah, you plan
Just
for
gonna be like Lara
it
Croft.
just makes it twice as bad.
Yeah. Yeah. If they both jam, I am just going to end it all.
With what though? You have to clutch
with
yourself
what?
to death.
We're just going to find the nearest wall and run into it as hard as I can and hope that will do me in.
Yeah, no, keep the shotgun on hand in case you need to end it all. And then when that jams,
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so I think we're done shopping.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
the elderly halfling, ratling, they're not halflings, they're space halflings. The elderly ratling marks down the purchases you've made on his accounting ledger. And, well, respectfully, gents, always a pleasure to do business. Do come by next time you need more illicitly purloined, totally legitimate goods. We are very happy to deal with you. And you say your curt goodbyes and make your way off into the bowels of the ship. So,
Bows.
shopping undertaken. One thing that will happen in the next the day, say 2 days or so into the travel, the funerary rites for poor little Iden are undertaken. The seneschal had invited you to offer some words at a ceremony, and you are sent one morning an invite to the ship's funerarium, where
Yeah, I'm heading the service.
yeah, you emerge to see
Cleric.
Iden's remains in a small metal bier about 2 foot by 2 foot,
Oh.
lying in the middle of a dais in a large octagonal chamber, and you descend down the steps towards the central platform, and doesn't seem like too many people are in attendance, and there's a couple of figures just sitting, taking the time to contemplate themselves.
are you telling me that the lad who's overly focused on murder may not, in fact, have had many friends?
That would be exactly what I was saying.
He's just enthusiastic.
He was very keen.
He needed a channel for his aggression, and that was religion for him. Which I may or may not have exploited and got him to die. But better him than us, that's all I'll say. Which we feel terribly about.
Yes, just horrible, I'm sure. I have art for this. Let me just pop it in the chat for you.
Oh god, don't let it be horribly depressing.
No. It's a respectful place.
Oh Jesus!
Damn.
So you descend
Okay.
down the central walkway to the dais.
See,
where,
honestly, I'd have thought this man be like shat out the garbage chute or something.
you,
This is some Game of Thrones shit right here.
you see
Yeah, for those of you at home who can't see this, oh boy, it's
Yeah.
the
a
sort
beautiful
of
building, even if no one's here.
the sort of metal crate holding the poor remains of Iden is couched in some kind of like hydraulic gear, and you gather the mechanism will be that he is fired at some point into the void from the ship once the ceremony has been completed.
Are the others in attendance? Have the other two come along?
Entirely up to them whether they've accompanied you on this mission.
I don't know if I would have.
I'm going to be reading thesauruses to absorb as many facts as possible.
What?
Why
Thesauruses?
Why not something useful?
Thesauruses. So
Yeah.
the boss can say, "I'm going to."
Oh,
commit
wait,
this
no, I
multiple
mean encyclopedias, don't I?
I think you mean carnage.
I can memorize words that mean other words at a moment's notice.
The Lord of Synonyms.
We've uncovered a heretical ring. I think you mean a seditious ring.
The most disliked member of the party.
Oh dear. Alright, well,
You've got to make the intelligence check first to see if you remember.
Alright.
yeah, that would be a waste of time. I'm going to clean all my guns again.
Hey, what about
because
history books? Like,
last time I cleaned all my guns, it allowed me to not jam one time, so...
that's
Yay.
true.
Alright, so Carl
And I now have
Octus have
5
made their
guns
polite,
now, so...
polite refusals to accompany you, and you are
You bastards.
you are somewhat alone in this chamber with the small metal beer containing Iden's remains, and you watch as the time for the ceremony comes, and you are invited to speak a few words over his mortal remains, bound for the side of the Emperor.
God. Alright. I shall step before his remains. Briefly do some sort of hand gesture loosely in the shape of the Emperor. Do a sort of sitting motion.
With your hands or yourself?
Whole thing. Very respectfully.
Some holy water is sprinkled upon the coffin.
Yeah, I'm going to be thumbing the chain of my censer as well.
No euphemism.
Alright.
And holding
Yeah.
the censer over the casket.
The air fills with the scent of burning acrid herbs, and you know this is what Iden would have wanted. Not dying, but being commemorated and consecrated in the name of the Holy Emperor.
Oh, okay. I thought for a moment you meant that he would have wanted to have died to face-sucking aliens.
Well, it depends how you dress it up.
Yeah. Two sides of
so
the same coin.
I'm going to address the people.
Okay, there's a few.
I don't know who they are.
Few figures. They look to be in sort of navy fatigues. You get the sense that one of them looks like maybe was perhaps Iden's like line officer. A couple of
So
other
you can
figures
love her
don't know.
then.
Well, you
Could have
scan the
been.
audience. You can't see any signs of a lover, but who knows?
A pleasure planet. That's all I'll say.
And yeah,
So yeah,
so the chamber is silent, ready for you to speak a few words.
young Iden was a man possessed of skills beyond what most of us knew. His religious fervor would ultimately lead to his end, but also great release into the embrace. Sorry, I laughed at release.
We'll fix that in post. It's fine. Carry on.
That's not in character. That's not in character. This is entirely respectful in character. And he was welcomed into the Emperor's embrace. He showed incredible bravery and loyalty to his friends. And unfortunately, he was not given more time to achieve what he was capable of. Iden kept to himself, but that does not mean he was without his friends as I see here today. And we will remember him and honor him in the light of the Emperor.
Hot damn! Have you considered like winging funerals professionally?
It's what I do at the weekends.
All right, these solemn words and tones. You invoke the rune of completing the ceremony, and the dais opens, and a great cloud of hydraulic steam emerges from the vent as you watch the small metal box containing his remains sink slowly out of view. And you know that he is in a better place.
Man, this music is so emotional. It's so powerful.
And sort of the
You would have said a silent tear for him.
the few figures in the audience sort of make their excuses and walk away.
I'm just going to linger for a little bit,
Okay.
looking down.
You'll never forget Iden. He will always be a fond
The
memory.
boy I got killed.
Yes, that is accurate. But
Technically accurate. Regretful, yes. Avoidable, yes. Necessary, probably not.
yeah,
Senseless, maybe.
Could it have been avoided if you hadn't have encouraged him to risk his life and limb? Yes.
But on the flip side, we don't know that one of us wouldn't have
Yeah,
died.
by the way, Hedry's entirely responsible for this man's death. I'm not sure if we made that aware to you or not.
Yes, partially to blame.
in the heat of battle, Many things happen.
Many factors are in play, you know. Maybe his parents are to blame.
Do you want to say they were all partly to blame for this?
Yeah. It's an elaborate tapestry that led to his final demise.
If his parents had given him the cane, he'd never be in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. If he had had a fencing instructor, I could have used that.
Well, alas, it is not to be, and Iden has been committed to the side of the Emperor forever and eternal. And the ceremony is completed, and you linger for a moment, but then make your way to reunite with the rest of the Acolytes. So, anything else, or are you ready to be conveyed through the Immaterium back to the waiting planets of Scintilla? If there's anything else you need to do in your week-long voyage journey,
I think, considering the last time we ended up on the brig, in the brig even, I think we should probably avoid contact with many people.
Well, hang on. What if you went gambling and I sat out?
Yeah, but we haven't got any money now.
I have money. Okay, maybe I go gambling and you sit out.
I'll go gambling if you go gambling. How much money have I got left?
It's probably only you can answer.
No, I don't think we're going to win at gambling.
Oh, I don't know. I'm feeling lucky.
Okay, last time you felt lucky, we ended up in the break. And sat quietly for 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, it's only 1 week now, at worst, so... And we just saved these assholes, so they owe us. They owe us this.
Yeah, no. And for anyone that doesn't know why I'm so against this gambling idea, it's because Alan uses his psychic powers to cheat at gambling. However, we are in a void-born ship in the warp. It is not a good time to fuck around with psychic powers, given that we are in the ocean of terrors and you are the bright beacon that they want to feast upon your souls. And if you distract the astropath or somehow incur some great catastrophe within his mind, and we're all open to the predations of the warp, not having that.
Oh, shame.
Don't make me threaten explosion again. I am a redemptionist. I have the power.
But now I do have tinfoil trousers, so...
I don't know how that helps. Let's just go back to the Inquisition, report on our findings.
There's got to be something we can do. Maybe we can look around for odd jobs. The last time it went so well. There's only one death.
If they've got any other bug hunts, then we can always do that.
Yeah.
All right.
I also feel like there'd be smaller bug hunts. Otherwise, they'd send them on that first. It's not as if we're going to go to them and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, half the ship's been taken over by space zombies. We forgot to mention it." That would have been the most pressing issue. So.
I mean, that would have been the coolest issue as well. I would have done the.
Yeah. I'd have been upset if they didn't come to us with that issue. If they'd kind of left that to the cooler squad on the boat.
On the boat.
I'd have been upset.
I mean, there would also be tens and tens of thousands of zombies because this is a big ship.
Yeah, but it'd be cool.
I don't fancy our chances, but...
Alright, well, we'll say for the sake of it that you, in the next day or so, you put out some feelers to see if there's any more jobs available in the same line of work. But it seems the Seneschal has been quite sated with your actions. He sort of respectfully says that he's had the work for you, but not much else I can do for you at the moment. And...
I think it's back to the Inquisition.
Yeah, right.
Alright, so you're all Void ship veterans, and the next week is pretty uneventful as Void travel goes. I mean, it's pretty boring having to while away a week in a Void ship, sort of playing whatever the 40k version of Angry Birds is, whilst you while away countless hours in various cafeteriums. But after a week, you feel the rumbling through the ship as sort of the telltale vibrations in the metal plates and hull hurled the emergence back into real space. And emerging from the Lagrange point and burst of warp energy, the Gellerfield flickers out, and you make your way over the planet that you had departed a good number of weeks ago. And compared to the planet of Vaxanide, the number of lights on the surface is dazzling.
God, it's good to be home.
Have we successfully travelled through the warp? I'm
Yes,
going to
the,
have
the
my
warp journey
final
has been
premium
successful.
low stick then.
Wow.
Oh,
In
Victory
celebration.
do you have
My-
any low sticks that don't smell of ass or taste?
The ones I literally just bought are the ones that don't smell of ass. This is
Oh.
my final stale premium low stick, yeah.
Alright, it's,
Right, well, we'll have to change that.
it's not great. It's been in your jacket for 4 weeks. Definitely could have used being in a humidor. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, well,
Sweat and jungle effluent.
Yeah, it takes like a minute to get it to light up, but yeah, it tastes like
perfect! I'm just going to discreetly throw my other stale pack of low sticks away because they've been in there for longer than the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to... Okay, there you go. There, off they go. Perfect.
However, you have made it safely back to orbit around Scintilla, and you are now free to depart the ship.
I say we do
Probably-
so.
We should probably report back to the Inquisition, like, quite smart.
Immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they aren't
dilly
people
or
who like to
dally.
fuck about.
Yeah, they
All right,
tend
so we're
not
all in
to.
agreement.
Yeah.
To the Horowitz! Yeah.
You keying in the appropriate counterskills to clear your manifest from the ship. You make your way to the loading bays where the St. Horowitz, your Aquila class lander, is sequestered, and you make the preparations to travel surface
What a
side.
beauty.
So who's going to be piloting the ship? Will it be you again, Carl?
It's me.
As the designated carer, I think it is.
As Alan and I are too nearsighted to be piloting.
Alright, well, also just for fun, go ahead and make a pilot test for the descent.
Okay.
What
All of my skill rolls are broken, so I may have to make a new character sheet because this has been going on a wee while.
Just go ahead and roll D100.
Yeah. Oh. There we go.
31. Alright, it takes you a few minutes to sort of warm your hands up and get back on the controls of the Horowitz, and the trip down is pretty uneventful. It's a little nervous flying when the destination you're bound for is in the dark side of the orbit, and sort of travelling through the night sky down towards the planet, along the designated aerial travelways. A little nervy, but you manage to join with the stream of traffic travelling up and down from the hive, and you begin to make your way for the coordinates of the Tricorn Palace, the headquarters of the Inquisition on Scintilla, and you emerge down to the surface of the hive just as the sun creeps over the horizon, and you begin flying towards the tri-spires of the Black Tricorn Palace. Straightforward enough for you to do, and you in good time make a landing on the berth where you had previously been instructed the Horowitz was to be landed and kept, and the craft sets down with a hissing of hydraulics and the engines power off, and you're once again on terra firma.
We're here. Alright, let's get out and debrief with the Inquisitor.
Alright, you thumb the rune of activation, and the rear hatch on the Horowitz hisses open with an almighty squeal, and you see there is a servitor waiting for you at the back ramp, and is holding out a device to scan some kind of credentials. And you hear the servitor intone, please present identification.
I'm gonna bust out the Inquisitorial contact device.
Yep, that's got your details on, and the servitor sort of scans a wand over the pad, and you hear the machinations of its logic engine processing your authority. Welcome, theatre level acolytes. Please follow me. Interrogator Crow is waiting.
Well, shouldn't keep him doing that for too long, and then I'll follow him behind.
Yep, all the way.
Alright, so leaving behind the orbital St. Horowitz, you follow this functionary-looking servitor through various twisting and winding passages and delve deep once again into the beating heart of the Inquisition in the sector. It takes you maybe 20-25 minutes, descending down long stone passages up and down various corridors and around twists and turns. It's very disorientating, and the scale of this building is just dizzying, sort of passing through cavernous rooms with long vaulted ceilings as well as tight passages and streams of people fighting your way through crowds and past passageways that seem to be relatively abandoned. It's a complete mishmash of activity, and after a very long walk, the servitor will lead you down and down and down, and you find yourself going down a relatively dank set of stone stairs into what looks like some kind of ancient stone reliquary. And you proceed, the servitor, having just about navigated the twisting and winding stairs, comes off to a side and says, "The Interrogator waits for you ahead. Please proceed."
This feels like an ill omen.
What? Why? It's the Inquisition. We're like besties with them.
Yeah, but last time we met with Crow, it was much more ornate and well lit. This is sort of seedy and
Well, if you'd
unknown.
like, I can reach out of my mind powers to have a look at things, but
Probably don't.
No?
Not
Good
with
there.
the Inquisition. Put it in a pocket. Good. Lock it up. Crow! I yell with confidence.
No response.
Oh, fuck.
oh,
We're
okay,
being
maybe
murdered.
we are.
We're
Shag.
being murdered. Oh.
That's it. I guess we have to take down the entire Inquisition.
Yep. AJ,
Just
you've
this
got those
branch.
guns, haven't
No,
you?
I've got 2 guns, yeah. They're cleaned and everything.
Alright, well, just in case. Just in case.
I'm keeping.
I
Let's start walking.
I have a loose hand on my bolt pistol, which is loaded.
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't be walking in there, ready to threaten the Inquisition.
No. It's within my ropes. They wouldn't be able to see it.
I forget.
But don't
Sorry.
forget how we first came to the Inquisition. It was a test. It was a trial by fire.
Yeah.
So always be anticipating instant death.
You watch as Gaius slips a hand into his robes, and for a moment it looks like he's doing something strange, but then you manage to discern the outline of the concealed bolt pistol in his vestments.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
I also named my bolt pistol Midget's Heat for some reason. Not sure about that.
Entirely appropriate is what that
You
is.
got it from some digits, so it seems only appropriate. Alright,
I'll put Rattling's Heat. It seems a bit more fair.
yeah. Alright, so you begin to take some steps forward in this stone catacomb, and as your footsteps reverberate through the vaulted ceilings of this chamber, you step forwards a dozen,
Quick,
2
you
dozen paces, and you see standing off in the distance is a solitarily illuminated figure. Facing away from you, you see the distinctive fur-lined and mantled cloak of the Interrogator. He seems to be standing by some manner of stone sarcophagus.
Use your specialize.
Oh, can I do a perception check with my specialized?
Sure, you can try and see perhaps what he's doing from this distance. You're about 2 dozen paces away from him. Maybe 30 feet or so.
Use his
So-
eyes.
I'm using the eyes. I just gotta double check how much the eyes help. Plus
It's
10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Specialize.
Hey.
Oh.
Away. Nice. 0.9. Alright, so sort of you angle up your neck to try and see what he's doing. He seems to be sort of he's got like a hand outstretched and his head is like dipped a little bit down. You presume perhaps he's got his eyes closed, just taking a moment to contemplate on something. As he hears your footsteps approach, you hear him call out, Oh, Acolytes, would that be you?
Yep, that would be us.
Please,
No.
Don't piss about.
step forward if you would. I was just taking a moment to think about something. No, please approach. And
What is this place, Crow?
you,
My lord?
You see him turn around and sort of nodding as you use a more genuflective term. Thank you for your formality. This place is where we honour some of the fallen members of the inquisitorial teams. I was merely taking a moment to remember some of those that we had lost. I'm sorry for the macabre choice of location, but not always easy to meet with our teams in the more populous areas. I quite appreciate the quiet of such a location. It makes for a less stressful debriefing.
I'm going to gently move my hand away from the vault pistol.
Okay.
Very, very discreetly. Very discreetly.
Alright, he rolled a 7, so he probably notices, but just
Damn it!
just nods.
Okay, but that means that I'm definitely not going to murder him.
Yeah.
So he should keep that.
He notices you pull your hand away and he says, please, there's no need for being on guard in this place. It's one of the less frequented chambers in this palace. Yes, there's nothing to be scared of here apart from the restless souls of those at the Emperor's side.
That does not make me any more confident.
It is just a metaphor. Do not worry yourself overly. I see you've returned. Tell me, what news of the mission?
Well, I think we can say it was a complete success.
I see. So you managed to rendezvous with the Lord Vaxanide himself and complete the situation to his complete satisfaction?
We met with Vaxanide. Funny story. It may not have been completed to Vaxanide's satisfaction.
I feared this may have been the case. We've received numerous messages from him since your
Oh,
departure.
fuck.
He claims that you were economical with the truth towards him. Of course, as agents of the Inquisition, you are, of course, fit to disclose what information you have towards him or not, but it seems he was up in arms a little.
Yes, my lord, I'm afraid that it's a slightly more complicated matter than Vaxanide once imagined. In that, once we were planetside, we came across a demonic entity of considerable power.
You see his
and we also found this, and I thrust my robes aside and draw the mace and just sort of kneel, presenting it towards him.
You see his eyebrow sort of tweak as you mention a demonic entity, and as you present the weapon, he sort of takes a tentative step forward, and you see his knuckles wrap around the haft, and takes it from your grip. Yeah, you say you found this planetside.
Yes, my lord.
I see.
And we have a recording that you might find interesting, as I questioned him as to what he knew about the mission and what was held within the temple that we investigated. Because before making Planetside, he was very restrained with what he told us, and he simply required that any relics found within were to be turned over to him, and that we were to find out the ultimate fate of the first party. Now, when we emerged victorious from the temple, and he let slip that perhaps he knew there was a demonic taint in the area, as this recording will prove. And then, unfortunately, we don't have the recording. But I did manage to bait Vaxanide into admitting that he knew the nature of the temple.
Because at the temple we investigated, we basically discovered a demonic entity tried to kill us, and B, the fact that this mace we found was, all kinds of evil and has a whole history, as Henry mentioned earlier.
And also, like, the whole temple leading to the demon was extremely unpleasant and
It
sort of
wasn't above board.
Yeah, like there was a fountain that was a sink that was filling up with blood, and the sink was made of teeth and flesh.
Yep.
Which was quite something. There was also a book with, a gem, which was flooding a room with blood, I believe.
Yeah, there was like a fleshy grit. It was altogether a very horrible place.
Yeah, definitely otherworldly, definitely occult.
Yeah.
And Vaxanide seemed to know about all of this, so questions about his junts should be asked.
And Skully, our little skull drone, records audio and video, and
because he's the most valuable member of the team.
As you motion for Carl to sort of access the records on the server, Skull, you see the Interrogator turning the weapon over in his hands. I see, and this weapon looks fairly innocuous. Are you quite certain it is some tool of the archenemy?
We came across it in a pool of frozen water, and above the mace, it was sequestered in a sort of cloister / private room of the temple, and on the walls were depicted a man wielding a weapon of great power, able to influence all those around him, potentially dangerously. And so we thought it best not to hand over this weapon. It also dealt a dolorous blow to the demon, and the demon seemed to recognize its power.
I see. This is grave news, but I think you may have done the correct thing in withholding it from Vaxanide. And you watch reach that hand. You watch as a soft light of the warp suffuses his eyes, and he sort of passes a hand slowly over the weapon. And when he gets to the flanged head of the mace, you watch him pull his hand back like he'd been scalded. There is indeed some entity within this weapon. Follow me, Acolytes. This must be properly isolated. Come, quickly. And he begins to lead you off to an adjacent chamber.
Oh.
You walk perhaps 200, 300 yards, and at the far end of a series of sarcophagi and plaques and murals and memorials to the fallen, you enter a more cavernous space, and in the centre a statue of the Emperor Beneficent, and some burning braziers at the ceiling filling with the smoke of incensing herbs. The Interrogator leads you up the wide marble steps and motions you forwards. This is one of the many facilities here that we have to deal with artifacts tainted with the curse of the archenemy's machinations. Stand by whilst I will descend below and place this in here for safekeeping. It is warded with various glyphs to prevent the taint of our foe from knowing it is here or working any kind of fiendish scheme remotely. I shall return in a few moments. If you stay topside, I will return once it has been sequestered down below. And you watch as he goes through a large set of double steel doors and proceeds down a spiral staircase and out of your sight.
Bugger!
I guess he's not on the fun side of the Inquisition.
Yeah, I also didn't want to kind of ask him if we could use it. After
Yeah,
that
fuck no.
I don't want to be sealed down here forever.
I don't think you'd get that luxury.
Probably a good approach. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm glad we didn't give that to Vaxanide now. Otherwise we might have been in trouble. Also, if we can get the Inquisition to kill Vaxanide, who may be after us.
Alright, after a few minutes, you see Crow sort of emerging, and he looks a little bit more pale than when he first went down. His face looks a little bit thinner, but he sort of takes
an entire mace up him, so
No. He just looks like a little bit drained. Like he's taking a heavy breath as he makes his way off the top, staring back towards you.
How out of shape is this man? He goes up a flight of stairs, out of breath.
He sees you giving him a critical look, and he sort of braces himself against the lintel of the doorway and says, "Oh, I'm sorry for my condition. I had to invoke various psychic wards below. But the mace has been locked away. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. It will be kept under vigilant guard. We will be in touch with Vaxanide to make sure that he is not in danger of falling to any further schemes of the archenemy. And it seems that with this artifact of power sequestered away, that will hopefully be the end of his machinations." Sort of wipes his sweaty palms on his tunic, brushes his hair back, takes a couple of breaths. "Very well, Acolytes. Recording won't be necessary. I shall consider that later in length, but for now it seems you've more than proved yourself by bringing this to me. It seems our choice in you for pursuing duties of the Inquisition was more than correct. As a consequence, I will be...
Thank you, my lord. I quickly kneel again.
Please stand. As a consequence, I will be upgrading your clearance further. You will now be recognized as Gamma-level Acolytes. This will open more doors of the hallowed Conclave Calixis for you. If you present your inquisitorial pass slates to the Servitor, he will give you the appropriate permissions. For our own purposes, the three of you, have you decided on a cell name?
Oh god, we were meant to do that, weren't we?
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, spoiler of everyone here. When we completed the first mission, this chap asked us if we had a name for it. And we kind of fobbed him off.
Yeah, we've just been referring to ourselves as the gang for
Which
quite
is
a
not-
while now.
It's not really an inquisitorial nickname, is it?
For a cell, no.
Can we think of like something suitably inquisitorial?
Beta 69.
No.
What about Iden?
We're not naming ourselves after that boy you attempted to bugger.
No. What? No, he died to save our lives.
It was fatal.
No buggering involved.
He just died.
He just died. What about Magnum PI? That's for real estate.
In the
I think
41st
that one's
millennium.
taken, even in the 41st.
The nickname Magnum PI is gone.
You know,
Okay,
I tell you what. Why don't we open this up to anyone that bothers to listen?
Wait. Alternatively,
they can give us suggestions of a name.
what about Octopodal Firestorm?
No.
No. I don't even
Just
want
because
to
you were
see what that
struck
could
on the
be.
head. And this is all you say now.
He's, the interrogator sees your indecision and sort of waves a hand again and says, "You must decide on a name at some point. Please, present yourselves to me tomorrow. I have further work for you. You have full use of the approved facilities within this conclave. I wish for you to present yourselves at the 9th hour tomorrow. Find me on the 40th level in the East Wing. We will rendezvous with our savant and archivist, Philosophidolphicus. He will be of essential use to illustrate the further work we have for you. There is always, of course, more work to be done in the service of the Emperor, and I will speak again with you on it in 14 hours hence, when we reconvene. Please, if you could find a name for yourselves in that time, it would be advantageous."
He's so disappointed in us.
How many problems do you think we caused, like the admin team that has to deal with us?
I think
It's
we
like
don't exist.
400 pages of paperwork to do now. They've got that mace.
It's like, and what the fuck is even their name? I don't know yet. They've still yet to decide, and then we have to change everything once they eventually do it.
In the annals of history, that mace just turned up because there was no team that collected it. Or it just says the gang.
Yeah.
XX051. Okay.
Alright,
So we have access to Gamma, Zuta,
Yes,
Buto.
you're now gamma level acolytes. Your access to the armoriums and facilities is now gamma level also, as well as basic access to the Inquisitorial archives. If you have need of that latter, I suggest speaking with our savant Philosoph Dolphicus tomorrow. He will be found with me on the 40th level. Yes, as I say, present yourself to the servitor and it will grant you the appropriate permissions. Do not try and access further facilities on pain of liquidation. And we shall reconvene tomorrow for further work.
Thank you, my lord.
Very well.
I think we better just curtsy and leave.
Yes, I too have further duties. There are further cells to deal with, and I'm quite in need of a sit down after processing that admission to the vault. Very well. We shall speak again tomorrow. Bring yourselves and bring a appellate name for yourselves.
About payment, my lord.
We're on salary, AJ.
We're on
Are
salary.
we?
Yeah, we are.
I thought
your
my job gave me my salary. I thought the Inquisition paid by the job.
you get a monthly
But
stipend
Alan
from
is
the
a-
Inquisition in keeping with your former career.
Right.
And,
Okay.
He sort of sighs and says, all remuneration, of course, you have the facilities provided by the Calixtus Conclave, and of course, if you are in need of material funds, they will be provided to you at the end of the month as usual. If you have need of further such, please report to myself or to one of our Acolyte agent handlers. And
Thank you, my lord.
grant you
So,
further stipends for duties only.
Going to rather embarrassingly bow my head and walk backwards.
Very well, if there are no further questions, I have further duties to attend to. We shall reconvene again tomorrow.
To the armoriums. Yeah.
Alright, he just walks past you at this point. He's got stuff to do, and he watches it as sort of a fine, real, genuine leather boots sort of click and clack as he makes his way across the polished marble floors of the crypt, leaving you with only the burning of incense braziers in your ears.
Ah!
Yes, your literal ears are on fire.
It burns. Who put incense in there? All right, okay. Let's go check out this armorium. What's in there? Guns? Is it going to be stuff we just exchange money for?
I really hope not. Otherwise, I'm going to do a bit of a cry.
Oh yeah, if we get special inquisitorial discounts, I've got money, so that'll be great.
None of
Could
us
you
have
buy
money.
me some things?
Depends.
Let's just ask
Depends
Mr.
how-
Crow. We
Depends
spend
how much
all our
money
money.
armored trousers
and we
are.
want more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I happen to
so,
have training in chain weaponry, just in case, you know.
you sign in with
Nice.
the servitor to get your gamma level access, handing over your inquisitorial data slates to have the appropriate catechisms of access and opening invoked upon them. And following the mechanical and brusque commands of the servitor, you find an approximate location of one of the appropriate level armoriums that you can travel to. Some dozens of floors up. You are quite low in the building here, and it is again another matter of 20 to 30 minutes to find somewhere suitable. And you again travel skywards in search of a place appropriate. And you make your way into one of the sanctioned armoriums, and the smell of oiled weaponry hits your nose as the door slides open. Only the gentle ticking of a timepiece on the wall, the only sound to be heard.
Extraordinary.
I'm going to immediately start looking at all of the weapons, sort of in order from one closest to me to the one furthest, I suppose.
Question, how large is this room? Because otherwise he may be here till he stops.
It's pretty large. It's probably about 50 feet long and then maybe 30 feet across.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep looking at the weapons until one catches my eye.
You browse for weapon. There's a very interesting selection. There's
Yeah.
all manner of laser guns and laser carbines. You see various solid projectile weaponry, racks and racks of pistols stashed against the wall. If
Bit of
you're
a chain pistol.
if you're looking for anything in particular, you will have to make a search test. I think is for skill.
Right.
Ooh.
Can I ask Gaius to look for armoured trousers for me, seeing as he's taller than I am? And has a better view.
But trousers are lower down. On
I
the
don't know how
body.
it's organised, Henry.
I think that it's arranged in height order.
I'll say because this is because you now had upgraded access. So whereas the previous Inquisitorial Armory that you had access to gave you a +10 circumstance bonus on tests, this will now give you a +20. So you have a +20 bonus to all availability and search tests for equipment in this armorium.
I can't remember if we paid for our equipment from the Inquisition last time.
I can't remember. I think it was gratis.
Oh,
Hey.
how do we make these search tests?
I need a weapon.
It will depend what you were looking for.
Well, armored trousers.
Black hole gun.
Okay.
Or black hole gun. Either one works.
Go ahead
They
and
can
make
fill
a
the
search
same
test with
function.
a +20 bonus.
I call it the atomizer.
Can
Wait,
I
do you
get
want
an
me to
assisted
search?
Oh, yeah, if you could search for me, that'd be great.
I'm really shit at searching. Like, I do not even have it as a skill.
Oh, well.
I don't look for things. Things come to me, Alan.
AJ, are you good at searching?
Oh, I'm fucking top tier at searching.
What is your search?
Can you find this stuff?
62.
Oh, boy, yeah. Can you get some
Um,
armored trousers for me?
Plus, I've got special eyes, which gives me a +10. And then what? We've got this +20 bonus.
+20,
for-
yeah, clearance level bonus, yes.
Can you
Right.
find me armored
Jesus.
trousers?
Can I assist him in searching as well?
You can
Yeah,
each,
I'd like-
each make a test as you spend
I'd
some
like to
minutes
assist him.
looking up and down the serried ranks of weaponry in this armorium.
What's that, AJ? What's that?
Right,
What do
so
your special eyes see?
okay. I lost count of all the bonuses. So
So it's plus
You're looking
30
at 94
AJ.
right now.
okay, so I'm rolling. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that one's not working. Oh, hang on, cancel that. Yeah, nah, my basic skills don't work still. So
Just roll a d100.
I'm just going to flump mine in. Oh, I flumped it.
Lump.
Lovely.
Nice.
I'm looking for a melee weapon, preferably some sort of chain melee weapon.
Okay. 72,
Okay.
so that's probably 1 degree of success for you, AJ.
Mhm.
2.6 for Gaius. Are we going to see one from you, Octus? Are you looking for anything? You're looking
Oh.
for trousers.
Well,
I'm looking for his
trousers.
trousers.
Oh, yeah, he's looking for my trousers, sorry. I can try and search for a chain weapon.
Well, since
That's
Gaius
good.
was
Do you-
looking for something... Oh, there you go.
Well, I found
Oh.
that chain weapon.
So, chain weapons are qualified as rare availability, which is -20, so you need 2 degrees of success to find one,
Oh.
and you've both managed.
I found a chain.
Hey!
So, what you find, Gaius, you find in a relatively empty rack, you find 2 remaining chain swords,
Ooh.
both armor and a half length, and they are available for your use. And Octus, you also find nearby a sole remaining chain axe.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
I'll be picking that up.
So,
It's alright.
those are just for standard chain sword and chain axe in the book.
How'd the search for my trousers going, AJ?
One degree of
did I
success.
find
I'll
it?
say that's probably sufficient to find some kind of leg armor.
Right, then yes, it's going well.
Yeah, up to scarce with 1 degree of success. So you could find a pair of. You could find some kind of leather under trousers. You could find flak. A pair of
Flak
flak
sounding good to me.
boots. You could find. No, you haven't quite qualified for mesh. Yeah, probably a pair of flak boots or greaves would be your recourse.
Yeah. Flat greaves would be wonderful if you could find me a pair of them.
Those would be 3 points of armor on the bottom,
Ooh.
on the legs.
Ooh. That sounds perfect.
So note that down. Anything else you would be looking for?
Can I find a pair of las pistols?
More pistols, goodness me. Yeah, sure, go ahead and make a search test.
Fucking character sheet.
We'll just roll a 1d100 for your thing.
Righto. Very sorry.
I seem to remember last time you also went on the hunt for some grenades. Oh, an 8. Damn.
Yeah, if I could find any grenades
What
as
you
well, that'd
find,
be tough.
Carl, on one of the far walls, since you rolled an 8 with like 8 degrees of success, you find a pair
Did I
of,
find a good one?
you find a pair of gold filigreed dueling las pistols.
What?
You
Fucking
pick
hell,
one up,
dude.
You pick them up. These are of excellent quality, which means they have a, I think it's like a +10 bonus to hit.
Oh!
Let's have a look.
So,
Nice.
could you write that down somewhere in the Discord so that I don't forget?
I will do that in a moment.
And also learn how to spell.
Yeah, best craftsmanship, a work of art as much as a weapon. These items created in the past by skilled artisans and are often centuries old. Ranged weapons with best craftsmanship never suffer from jamming.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
If
My
a roll
one
would
character
result in a
trait is
weapon being
gone,
jammed,
but I
simply
don't
counted as a
care.
miss instead. Yeah,
Oh.
so
Hand
Oh my
cannons
God.
deal damage, doesn't matter, these bad boys can't jam.
Oh my
AJ,
god.
are you now a functional character?
we've done it, boys.
We've done
He now has
it.
a weapon he can kill himself with.
I do.
Yeah.
I'll just type these up for you. So best quality dueling las pistol brace pair.
The one interesting thing about my character is deleted, but I don't even care. Huzzah! Yeah, I may look for more shit if that's how it's going to go down.
Sure. Did you roll for those grenades?
I'm not going to roll for the grenades just yet. I'm going to look for a either a grenade launcher or an RPG launcher, and just sort of have to stumble around everywhere with all of my weaponry. Yeah.
What were you looking for, Gaius?
Are we becoming terrorists? I was looking for a new hat.
No hats. Unfortunately, there are no hats in this armory.
Yeah, my hat got killed last adventure.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oops.
So you're
I was
looking
after
for
like a Cossack house.
RPG grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll another
Some
D100 for me then. The RPG launcher is red, so that's -20. No, unfortunately, not quite successful enough to find one of those.
all right.
Is it possible for me to find power armor? I'm feeling it's a no here. I'm feeling the odds on that are too low for me to manage.
Very much depends.
Could
on
you
what
even
roll.
fit in power armor?
That's a good question.
We need like a power barrel that we can just...
I tell you, what,
Squat you
I
in.
will try and find a power barrel. How does that sound?
Go ahead and make a
Good.
search
Hang on.
test for me.
Where's my search? Up there it is. Let's have a quick look for the power barrel. No, I do not find that power barrel.
Unfortunately,
at all.
your eyes are so taken with the new and shiny chain axe you've procured that
Yeah, no,
all
I'm
else
happy with
seems
that bad boy.
tawdry in comparison.
To be fair, I'm just going to sit there happy with my chain axe.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, I'd sit there happy with my chain axe if I had one, but I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry, you got pistols that stop you being shit.
AJ, did you get like this amazing thing and now you're spoiled? But I wanted a chain
you even
axe
got
too.
two. You even got two of them.
I did get a couple of them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what else do we need? Like,
I think we're good. I think we're good.
Look, hey, we got chainsaws. Every problem has now been solved.
Grenades, what are you going to look for?
Yeah, grenades.
You go and roll for those.
Do you have like? Oh, can I try and look for hallucinogen grenades?
You may.
I would love to. This will be my final search, just because I think it'd be funny if I do not. I do not.
Carl 47, that's 4. So you can find, I'll say, you find 3 frag grenades available.
Okay. Yoink, I think is the
Technical term. As is, I think I'll be heading off. I'm afraid.
Alright,
Yeah.
well, not a problem if we call it there. Now you've loaded up and looted the available facilities.
Is there any copper wiring in the ship that we can...
Any telephone sockets we can rip out of the wall.
Well, I'd like to thank the Inquisition for looking after my ornate dueling pistols while I was visiting. Now, where did you keep them again?
Yes, yeah, not a problem to call it day there, and well armed and armoured for your next encounter. The adventure shall pick up again when we reunite with Interrogator Crow in the archives of the Conclave Calixis. So,
cool.
yeah.
And we promise not every episode is going to be us shopping. And
Yeah, that was a little
But
bit
the
shocking,
shopping
but
episodes are
hopefully,
so cool.
shopping is a cornerstone of our playing lifestyle. But
hopefully that was a fun introduction to the game of characters. Certainly, there will be more. Hopefully, if people enjoy listening to this. And what better time to jump in than before the next arc of an inquisitorial adventure? So.
dun, 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 dun.